Have you heard of the Chinese social credit system? If you haven't, you definitely should be aware of it. The Chinese social credit system is a nationwide credit rating system implemented by the Chinese government to track the trustworthiness of individuals as well as businesses. The goal is to regulate social behavior, promote compliance with the law, and enhance trust in society. The system uses various sources to go and gather data, including traditional financial and legal records, as well as digital sources like online search history, shopping habits, and even social media interactions, as well as how long you play video games. But let's be honest, they've already tried to go and implement something like that under Joe Biden. Remember Nina Jankowicz and her Ministry of Truth?
Pondering is really quite ferocious. It's when a huckster takes some lies and makes them sound precocious by saying them in Congress or a mainstream outlet. So disinformation's origins are slightly less atrocious.
Phew, we sure dodged the bullet with that one, didn't we, folks? Or did we? Now, I do need to clarify a little bit here. Yes, you can definitely make the argument that what Nina Jankowicz was doing with the Ministry of Truth is different than what the Chinese are doing with a social credit score. But let's set the stage here first. When the government has the ability to go and determine what is true and false, it's not that much of a leap to say, well, how are they going to go enforce this? Well, they enforce it with said social credit system. And sadly, this is already being implemented in Europe. All you have to do is take a look and see what's going on in the UK right now. But what if I tell you this same social credit system is going to be implemented here in the United States? That's crazy talk, right? I mean, we have the Constitution. It's supposed to protect us from things like this. Well, yes, from the government, but not from corporations. And that's ultimately where Sony finally factors into the equation. I know it took me 2 minutes to finally get there. Continuing to prioritize making gaming a safer and more welcoming environment for all players, Sony has registered a patent for a bad actor detection system that would help to reduce toxic behavior in online video games. The filing joins a string of patents by Sony that seeks to lessen unhealthy interactions in multiplayer gaming and promote positive experiences between players. Wow, if that doesn't sound like social engineering, I don't know what is. Now, I get it. There's such a thing as terms of service, and if people go and violate the terms of service, they get ultimately booted as a result. I get that. But typically, it's on the onus of the user to go and register the complaint, because most people, or I should say some people in reality, may not have a problem with what you're doing. They see it for what it is, a joke, or you're just basically taking the piss. And if someone's being an annoying asshole, there is the block and mute function. It's just that simple. Be an adult about things. No, I've never been blocked by anyone before because I'm an upright citizen. I can't even say that with a straight face. It's one thing to have a terms of service, but it's totally different when you're trying to go and modify the behavior of your customers. Say it with me, folks, and get your drinking glasses. That is some 1984 nonsense. This is their attempt to implement a social credit system within online gaming. And if you think it's going to stop there, you are mistaken. With a number of major multiplayer games like Fortnite and Minecraft drawing in younger players, companies like Sony have shown an effort to ensure online spaces are free of toxicity and negative interactions. Parents are the ones that ultimately should have control over what their kids see and hear. Not the companies, not the government. A Sony patent initially filed in October of 2024 and published on May 22, 2025, detailed a bad actor detection system that would track negative behaviors in online multiplayer video games and use this data to implement mitigation actions such as bans or restrictions. The system would track how often a given user interacts with other players in a negative way, such as inappropriate text or voice chat, grief actions like repeated friendly fire against teammates, and more, and would compile this data to create a profile of said user, just like the Chinese social credit system. I realize the irony of me continuing to say Chinese social credit system but using the Russian national anthem. I just think it's funny. The system follows similar trends as other Sony online safety patents, with aims to develop more positive and healthy interactions in multiplayer video games. No, that totally doesn't scream ripe for abuse or anything. Not the slightest. I trust Sony. I don't. Fuck these assholes. Sony's bad actor detection system utilizes frequent markers as main indicators of toxic behavior. For example, a player who accidentally targets a teammate only once would not have to worry about being marked as a bad actor, whereas a grief player consistently targeting teammates would be identified as having surpassed the threshold. If the bad actor adjusts their online behavior and drops below the threshold, any mitigation consequences may be lifted, thus encouraging continued positive interactions. And I'm going to go and state the obvious. The key word here is maybe. While there is currently no guarantee that this bad actor detection system or other Sony gaming software technologies will be fully developed and released to the public, many may be happy to see a big-name company working to address toxicity in gaming. This is such a fundamentally bad idea because ultimately this will be used for other things. Driving too fast on the freeway? Well, there's a kill switch in your car and you're going to be punished the next day and you're going to have to take the bus to work instead. Using too much water to water your lawn? Well, guess what? That digital meter that the city has basically installed now can turn your water off. What about electricity? It's too hot this summer. You're using too much electricity. Well, guess what? We're going to cut your power off. Now, these are some very extreme examples, but they're not out of the realm of possibility. Just think about it. That's right, folks. The social credit system is not going to be coming from the government because we do have protections in place like the Constitution. No, they're going to be coming from the very people that we buy products from, and that should be 100% frightening to you. Anyway, folks, these are my thoughts. What are yours? Leave a comment down below. Hit the like button if you enjoyed this video. Subscribe if you're new to the channel. And as the mug says, freedom is always on the right side of history. I'll catch you next time, folks. I was actually out of tea.